Alright, hello everyone. Let's take a look at Rev's new video regarding CD Projekt Red. Since it is about CDPR, and I believe this has something to do with a news that I saw recently where I believe a number of ex-CDPR devs and designers have left the company and formed a new group. I forgot what it's called. I believe it's called Rebel Wolves. And I'm sure Red will talk about that, but we will see what this whole thing's about actually.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to be talking about some big gaming related news, including an exodus of some key members from CD Projekt Red, as well as some games journalists, well, just being games journalists and making fools out of themselves. Now before we get into those stories, I want to give a quick update regarding a situation.
Okay, so before we start, then yeah, I guess we are gonna talk about the new dev team that some of the ex CDPR members going to form, which is very exciting news. I haven't heard anything about what kind of game they were going to make yet, and we can probably check it out later from their official website. If they have one, we'll have to look it up. We'll have to see.
Situation my channel's been facing over the past 24 hours. So as some of you are already aware, I had this video I uploaded on the 26th titled Gamers Cooked Naughty Dog After Cringe Holiday Post. This video was hit with an age restriction, which is very...
I just think that recently Naughty Dog are kind of roped in. No, I think Naughty Dog's a bit worse, but I think CDPR has been roped into the whole Naughty Dog drama because of the that very unfortunate fan art that was posted. Even though I think CDPR right now has a better reputation compared to Naughty Dog's, Naughty Dog kind of just dragged them through the water as well.
Very confusing if you watch the video, because I simply talked about how a lot of gaming studios like to capitalize and market themselves using Christmas themes, but they refuse to say Merry Christmas because they don't want to offend anyone. Now it's also very confusing.
I don't really get what's wrong with Merry Christmas.
Had to do with sexual content. And again, if you watch the video, there was absolutely nothing sexual in it. This is a very bizarre label to give that video. And of course, my appeal was rejected in fewer minutes than the actual duration of the video itself, which tells you it's just a bot looking at everything. Now, this is where the updates are coming in. So unbeknownst to me, a lot of things happened around the time I uploaded my video talking about the situation yesterday.
I honestly thought because of the cultural shift recently, I thought YouTube would improve, but I'm not sure what's going on here, actually.
I took a little cat nap, a little old man nap, and while I was gone, two things happened. Number one, apparently YouTube decided to take a second look at this video. And by a second look, they outright removed the video entirely,
that's harsh.
Citing a community guideline violation for sexual content. Yes, that's how extreme
I don't think that
this
video
got.
has any sexual content. I believe
I was in my slumber, my wife, Darling Straub, decided to hop on my computer.
I thought that video was mainly because of... I thought that video was mainly for the new Naughty Dog Merry Christmas post. And with, I think, from The Last of Us 2, character from Last of Us 2, the new Intergalactic, what else was there? I think that was about it, right?
Computer and start contacting YouTube support, and lo and behold, to the dismay of my obsessed weirdos on Twitter, the video is back. Not only was the video restored, the age restriction was lifted, and the video is now fully monetized. And in the process, they also auto-generated my thumbnail. They switched off my thumbnail.
That's a pretty good thumbnail.
Used this auto-generated image, and honestly, chef's kiss. This is way funnier. So I'm keeping this image for the thumbnail because it's just that good. But anyways, that situation has been resolved. So definitely shout outs to my wife, obviously, but also viewers as well as some YouTubers for helping signal boost this whole situation. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. So
I didn't, but
let's get into
I fully
the news
support Revs
for today.
Because that was the removal, that was absurd. That was unreasonable almost. I don't think in his video he talked about anything or even showing anything sexual content. It was just mainly criticizing Naughty Dog and its tasteless post. But I mean, to each their own, right?
CD Projekt Red. Now, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this studio over the past really couple of years, but especially since the announcement that they are going to be releasing Witcher 4, and a lot of people are concerned about the direction of that game and the company as well. Now, here is the big news regarding them. It's something that a lot of people have been noticing. There
Yeah.
seems to be a mass exodus
From this one, I think I saw the news from either Dexterto or some other gaming news, but I'm pretty sure I saw a an article about this maybe a couple of days ago. I was really excited for it.
CD Projekt Red away from the
Okay, it
studio
seems
and
like they do
into
have an
new studios
official website, so we
like
can check it out
Rebel
later.
Wolves. Now, this is something that was pointed out by many people. I believe also Endymion pointed this out some time ago, and he was called crazy, a conspiracy theorist, for saying that there is an exodus from CD Projekt Red. Well, once again, the Chud conspiracies are turning into Chud facts because that's exactly.
I mean, it's pretty predictable when I believe for The Witcher 4 they switched the main the main narrative designer, I believe, into someone else, and especially when you're switching someone in that role for the fourth game, as that seems to be very questionable. I believe there has been a lot of shift in a lot of position shift within CD Projekt Red throughout the years, so it wasn't a very surprising outcome for sure.
What is happening. So as pointed out here in this tweet, it looks like the whole news of a lot of CD Projekt Red devs leaving CD Projekt Red is not just real, but it's practically Exodus levels of leaving. The director for Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has even opened his own studio now named Rebel Wolves. And you can see their mission statement here saying Rebel Wolves is a new studio, but our team has years of experience working on some of the most critically acclaimed video games of all times. We co-created titles such as Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and many others. We decided to create our own studio and run it in
seems like
our
a really solid
own
team,
terms.
right?
Chief among them, the team comes first always. Happy people make great games, games players want and deserve. Yes, it's as simple as that. We're industry veterans, but we're hungry for more. We want to create amazing virtual worlds filled to the brim with powerful emotions and unique experiences. Most of all, we want to share our boundless passion for video games. We know what players love because we're players ourselves. We're currently working on our own.
Which is very surprising why I don't know why like Game Studio doesn't have that kind of mentality anymore. I think game studios are no longer for players, or they are no longer players, and they don't make game for players, which is it's kind of disappointing and sad. But good thing that there are still people that are passionate for games and are willing to make good games, and a lot of them are Asian studios. Surprisingly, China has been almost very noticeable during the past few years. You have HoYoverse. Although I never play any of HoYoverse kind of games, but you know that they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. Some of my friends are pretty addicted to Zone Zero. At least not the gacha part of it, but at least the gameplay was very solid. And of course, for me personally, Black Myth Wukong, I played a lot of it. I played a ton of it, and I love the game. And also, I believe the newest one, relatively new. I try to think of the name, but there are some really good, Chinese-based games.
AAA IP story-driven RPG saga for PCs and next-gen consoles. We're humbled by the interest and we'll share more as we can. Thank you for your patience. It'll be worth it. Okay. Now, that was a very great thing to read. Now, of course, we'll have to wait and see if they're actually going to follow through on these big promises, but that's what we love to hear, right? If you're a gamer, you want to hear from a studio that they're passionate about what they're doing. They want to make good games. They want to have a good team, a happy team that's working together, using their passions to create something they know gamers are going to enjoy. And they promise this because they themselves are passionate gamers. They're not just developers. They're someone who really cares about having a good experience, and they want to share that with other gamers through their own projects. If this is what's going to happen, if this team that's left CD Projekt Red to create Rebel Wolves, if they're actually going to follow through on this, I think this is a very promising look, and what they're going to produce with these efforts is something I have a feeling will be pretty good. Now, also looking at some of the exodus here, the creator of this new studio, by the way, was basically kicked out of CD Projekt Red. They resigned after an internal investigation into allegations of bullying.
Okay, let's see it. I'm not gonna butcher his name, was the game director for Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. A game director? Okay, that's that's basically the top of the totem already. Worked at CD Projekt Red for 17 years. Okay, starting the story design for the studio's first game, The Witcher, in 2007. He is basically, you can say that you can basically, oh my god, I'm not even gonna try to say his name. You can say that he is the pillar of CDPR, actually. He was also the lead quest designer for The Witcher 2. Okay. Designed the CDPR after an internal investigation into allegation of bullying. He apologized for the bad blood he caused and said that he planned to change his behavior. Seems pretty reasonable. Okay, but the allegation of bullying, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is. Is it just stemming from simple disagreements, or is it something actually nefarious, or something more than that? We will never know, I guess. Left CDPR to form Rebel Wolves, a new studio that developed a dark fantasy role-playing game. The game's goal, including making every decision matter, making the world react to choices, and recreating the feeling of a pen and paper RPG sessions. So, okay, so very D&D-like. Other members from the Rebel Wolf leadership team includes, we got the design director and narrative director and the main writer.
Now, I've seen this story play out many
That's
times
crazy.
before. This whole
basically all the top level
bullying.
position
With CD Projekt
position
Red and the
writers
kind of people
at least
who work there, you can
joining
imagine
Rebel
what
Wolves.
bullying would probably look like within that company. Probably just didn't respect someone's pronouns or some dumb stuff like that. But, you know, jokes aside, the fact that they were pretty much forced out under this accusation, this allegation of bullying, is a very eyebrow-raising thing. It's something I think CD Projekt Red is going to regret, especially with...
I wonder if this is what it means to be the return of Western game development. Because currently, for sure, the most noticeable ones, you just look at the Game Award, and most of the games that's even nominated are mostly done by Eastern studios, right? A lot of the Chinese studios, well, a lot of Chinese studios. I guess I would say the most notable one would be Black Myth Wukong, and I believe some Hoyoverse ones that mostly for player of choice. But you do have some incentive to voting for those gacha games, so it's hard to say whether you count that or not. But there are a number of Japanese studios. You know, you got your Square Enix, you got, okay, maybe not Nintendo. I don't think there's any Nintendos, but you do have some Japanese devs in there as well. You got your Metaphor, and okay, and of course you got your From Software, and I'm not so sure about Korean studios just yet. I believe their scene are mostly in the online verse. You got, you know, Black Desert Online. You got your Nexons, and of course Nexon recently have a big shift. So people that doesn't know about Nexon has a indie studio called Mint Rocket, and they're the one that made Dave the Diver, which is one of my favorite game, I believe in 2022, if that's when it came out. But that was one of my favorite indie games of all time, and it's super fun for those that haven't played it yet. They will have a DLC coming out next year, which is I'm very excited for. And they also showing off the trailer during the Game Award, which is very nice. So I believe a lot of these like Eastern studios are start to not really shifting towards a more indie space, but they are still making a lot of good games. A lot of good games out there, either single player or multiplayer. They're still very good. Still very good. And I think they start to turn from. I think I can see more and more making more single player games instead of I would say a more predatory multiplayer games or gacha games, which is also a good thing for gamers.
This new studio he has created. And on top of that, you know, you think about what's going on, you know, talking about bullying, right? This is the current CD Projekt Red franchise and lore designer. We talked about him before a few days ago.
What is this?
Saying he wants to punch gamers. Now, of course, these are the...
In 2020, I want muscle so I can effectively punch gamers. And also so I can carry cute people and dogs of any size easily? What does that mean? I didn't realize until this tweet, but this is also what I want. Okay. You want to punch gamers, or you want CG to punch you? Me, and Caitlyn will punch gamers together?
The people who are now probably crying bully over people like the creator of Rebel Wolves, for their apparently horrendous
I mean,
actions
I guess I
behind the
can take it as
scenes,
a
but this is
joke,
the kind of
maybe?
stuff
I don't
they're
know
currently
what this
fostering.
is about.
And again, it doesn't give a lot of hope for Witcher 4 when these are the people in charge of making that game who are replacing people who are very experienced. I mean, the creator of Rebel Wolves, I mean, he was at CD Projekt Red for 17 years. It's really hard to
That's a
replace
long
someone like
time.
that, and this is one of the new hires from the last year, and this is what you're getting. So I think the concerns about CD Projekt Red are very, very real.
That's
Now, I
definitely
also
more than
point
half
this
my
out as
age,
a
I
nice
guess.
segue into the next topic because this lore
Okay, let's see.
designer happened to work at The Gamer,
Maher?
and we're going to be talking about The Gamer, which, in case you don't know The Gamer, well, congratulations. You probably don't want to ever know them.
I never
but
read
they're
The
known
Gamer
for
before.
making a lot of slop, right? They are just the classic games journalist site that just produces slop after slop after slop, and they clearly have quite a disdain.
I know there's like interim
for a lot
publication,
of
there's like
gamers,
PC
and
Gamer,
also they are
and
very well-known
there's something else, I
hypocrites.
guess.
And we're gonna see that
I don't
once
think I
again
ever
here. So
read
they
anything
released
from
this
The Gamer.
article on the 26th saying smash, cough, smash.
Oh,
And the article is, oh no, someone made
those.
Withers
Oh my
hot
God.
in Baldur's Gate 3. Ah, yes, it's the classic safe, horny route right here where they can sexualize certain things without judgment, or at least that's what they expect. But anyways, as you can see, 190,000 views on this tweet, 42 likes. It's not going very well. I think gamers are speaking right now, and it's
I mean, I get more likes for my pixel art stuff.
not in the favor of The Gamer. Now, let's see the hypocrisy in action. This is another article from The Gamer saying Resident Evil 4 no longer sexualizing its women is a good thing.
What? I think... I don't know what their example gonna use. I'm not sure what the article's about, but if they're using Ashley as the post, I think she's very cute in the new game, right? She's very pretty, and her clothes very classy, I guess. I don't remember they are still... Oh, okay, does it still say the ballistic joke? I'm not sure anymore, but Ashley was really pretty in the new game. Same as Ada. Ada was also very hot. I don't know what they're talking about.
Here's another classic, a banger from The Gamer, titled Cammy's classic outfit should never have been brought back to Street Fighter. Crying about this character.
Cammy's classic one's very classic.
And yet, here they are in this
article. I played with my cousin before. But I think Cammy's new clothes is also very sexy, isn't it? It's very tight, you know. She still shows a lot of skin, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Crazy and openly sharing their enthusiasm.
I mean, just hypocrisy, right?
For Withers being sexualized in Baldur's Gate 3. Again, a classic round of hypocrisy from The Gamer. But let's move on to another topic here. So, it appears that some people are starting to turn on Veilguard, which is a very surprising thing. After years of holding out hope, 2024 was the year I finally gave up.
It's just boring.
This is a PC Gamer article, and I
guess you can say that the combat is a bit more fluid compared to before. I'm not sure. I didn't want to pay money for it, but I do have friends who played it. I think they say that it is at least a bit more fluid, but however, it doesn't feel like you have a team. It just doesn't feel like you're forming a team. It just seems like you're just on your own most of the time. But overall, the story was kind of just boring, just bland. She didn't find that game very interesting at all. And she's a huge fan, so I think I trust her opinion on this.
Not believe I'm seeing PC Gamer turn its back on BioWare, which is really hilarious. And they basically cite Veilguard as the reason, which is not surprising. They say it was so bad, it put the nail in the coffin for them. They've been a fan for basically the majority of their life, and now they're turning on BioWare because Veilguard was just that bad. Maybe some games journalists are actually waking up. We'll have to wait and see. That's a.
I don't think it's waking up. It's just that I just think that they don't want to lose their job, right? I mean, after so many game journalists been losing jobs here and there, I mean, gamers are disagreeing with them on a mass amount. So I just think that if they want to keep their job and keep their income, I guess So they have to at least be more reasonable now.
It's a pretty crazy prospect, but hey, at least they're being honest about Veilguard and BioWare. At least someone in the games journalism scene is being honest about that slop. But anyways, one more thing to cover very quickly in this video.
I don't know what this is.
GOG.com is getting into some trouble. You know, they're a digital
Guido
PC
games.
gaming platform, but this tweet would get them a lot of backlash. So basically, to sum it up, they're doing a giveaway which includes Dustborn. That is a very odd choice.
Okay, I'll be honest. I did plan to play Dustborn. I did plan to like make a whole series of Dustborn, and mostly just for jokes and giggles. But I don't know.
Not quite sure why they would pick Dustborn of all the games. And also, I mean, you're calling this a giveaway. This is more of a throw.
Honestly, I just thought it would be really fun.
Away at this point. Like, let's be honest about the state of Dustborn. But it's very strange to see them. I don't know. It obviously had something to do with the developers of Dustborn. They must have tried to initiate this. And if they think this is going to work out in their favor, I don't think it's going to, because let's check in on Dustbin. How's Dustbin doing these days?
Wow, 6 players.
6 players.
Ooh.
There are 6
I wonder
people
what's the all-time high
playing
is.
this game right now. 6. That's the absolute state.
I think the 6 is for the people from the studio.
Of the modern audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the modern audience. We found them.
Oh, I got
all
6 at least.
Them. But anyways, that's just a little fun way to end this video. That's going to do it. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Hey, what's up, guys?
Oops. Okay, honestly, before we end this, I really want to check out this. Oh, let's check them out. Let's check them out. See what they will say about this whole thing. And I believe we said about the studio. Rebel Wolf's a team. Rebel Wolf is a new studio from our team. The experience working on most of the critically acclaimed video games of all time. We co-created titles such as Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and many others. And you can criticize 2077 a lot in terms of early releases and the follow bugs. Oh my god, some of these bugs are pretty funny. But the thing is that in terms of Cyberpunk 2077, the story is actually pretty good. If you actually got a chance to play through the entire story, the story is actually very, very good. The mission, we want to do 2 things. Sounds modest? Well, keep reading. One is to revolutionize the RPG game. We love these games. We've been playing and making them for decades. And now we want to make them a step further. Our title will be quality, driven, and innovative. We don't want to create another game. We want to create the game. We're experts in our respective fields, confident in our ability, and wildly passionate about what we do. Second is to create a studio where developers can thrive, united by a common goal and a sense of camaraderie. Our priority is the team, and the team priority is to create the best RPG game the world has seen. Ambitious? Well, watch us. I think the second part is very important. You can see that where at least the founder, the CEO is coming from. It seems like the team, the original CD Projekt Red, the culture of the company has shifted. Maybe they do not prioritize the team anymore. Maybe they do not prioritize the game anymore. We will never know. But this is their second mission, which is very good. Their values. There are 3 values that we are particularly important to us, which is fairness. We want to be fair with each other, with gamers, and with our business partner. We want to communicate openly and honestly, give it our best, and appreciate what we get in return. Seems fair. Teamwork. We want to create a space where diverse developers come together and create something that's bigger than the sum of its parts, where people support each other and help one another to grow, where each voice matters. And openness. We appreciate honesty. We want to hear your thoughts and promise to consider any feedback seriously. We're experienced, but there's still plenty we need to learn. We'll appreciate your input. So that's pretty good. So they are openly listening to player feedback. That's always a good sign. A company driven by love for RPG, and these are some of the best RPG designers in the world, actually. So, the games. This is something what I'm curious about. I haven't heard any title they're working on. I believe they're currently working on one, since it says right here, we're currently working on our own AAA IP, a dark fantasy RPG. Could be very something similar to The Witcher. and the first title of a planned saga. Okay, so it's not just gonna be one game. And though we're dying to tell you more, all I can share now at this point. Frustrating, we know. Yeah, I hope they can, leak a little bit more, maybe in 2025, hopefully. But in terms of like these type of games that, like these type of IPs designing, especially a new IP, a new world, we might not be able to see it until 2026 to get a full picture, but we might get like a little bit of teaser in 2025 if they want to keep their interest. That would be a pretty good choice. But let's talk about what we want the game to be. Now we're approaching making it and what we're thriving to achieve. We're considering game to be a form of art. I agree that game design, making games is probably the highest form of art. It combines way too many aspects of any fields. You got photography, you got filming, you got music, you got audio designs, you got coding, you got technology. There's too many things that combine together to making a good game. Totally agree with that. And real art has ambition that we have in spades. We want to tell stories which will shake you to the core, draw you in, make you second guess your instinct. We want to create a truly immersive narrative, an experience you will remember and continue to recall long after the credits roll. So a game that will make the player think. Okay, we believe games. I think this is very good. We believe games must be fun. Okay, I mean, nothing wrong with that. We aim to create meaty dynamic gameplay system which will bring a breath of fresh air to RPG games. Okay, I wonder how that will work. In terms of dynamic gameplay, I believe probably action gameplay, action RPG type of gameplay. To be honest, I find Witcher 3's action, the actual gameplay, Witcher 3 maybe a bit on the weaker side. You will immediately understand how they work and then spend hours playing to create the best build. Okay, so we got a build diversity over here. Probably not gonna be extensive as PoE 2, but I'm hoping it will be a little bit more complex than Wukong. We think games should make the most of interactivity, offer you as much freedom as possible. Our goal is to give you plenty of ways to solve a problem and then let you have a go at it. There will be no right or wrong way to play the game. It'll be up to you to decide whether it's your way. So I'm assuming it's gonna be a closer to open world type of thing, or something like Baldur's Gate 3. We will have different interactive environments to help you combat a certain situation. That's very interesting. And personally, I am very interested. I want to see more. I just need a little bit of teaser to know what this is about. Right? I see the team, the core team. We're experts. Each of us is a world-class specialist in their respective field. We have decades of experience in video game development between us. We're ready for the new challenge. We're focused. We know what we want to do and know how to get there. We're not trying to prove anything to anyone. We're just make great games and that. Okay, that's pretty good. We're loyal. We're a pack. One for all for one. We make key decisions together. We share profit between the team. We communicate openly and respectfully. Seems like a very, very stacked team, actually. Art directors, CTO, okay, CFO, producer, studio head, general counselor, and HR. Let's take a look at them. So we got the CEO and game director, and this is Conrad. I'm not gonna butcher your last name. I'm sorry, man. A little about myself: over 17 years experience in game industry. Actually, from what we saw from Rev's video, and from tester to lead to executive producer and game director of Witcher 3, over 254 Game of the Year awards. Sold, very impressive, as well as Cyberpunk 2077. Okay, very good, very stacked as a CEO. From a tester, I wonder how that will work. I wanna be more involved in the game industry. Okay, design director. Right, Daniel, 15 years of experience, game development, leading project and team, including 10 years running a studio. Okay, 7 years experience of lecturer, game development course director, a Polish Japanese Academy of IT. Okay, so I guess that Design director, it's not a former CDPR member, but with 15 years experience, is also very, very stacked. And 10 years running a studio, I wonder what that studio is. 7-year experience in... I'm more curious about this. The Poly Japanese Academy of IT mentor. That's very... a very interesting one. Narrative designer and main writer. 10-year experience as video game writer and story designer. Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and Thronebreaker. Okay. An award-winning bestseller novelist. Pretty good. Pretty good. In marketing and publishing professional, over 20 years experience gained. EA and CDPR. Core member of Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk global marketing campaign. Okay. The art director. 17-year experience in video game industry working on all Witcher games. Initially as a concept artist and then an art director. Very good. Working on all Witcher games, including lead and principal expert programmer roles. So this is actually the main programmer, the lead programmer for a lot of the Witcher games. Okay. What about this? 7 years of finance and taxing. Okay, the financing guy. 13 years video game industry, head of QA, Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, lead producer of Gwyn, and Thornbaker and Cyberpunk 2077, Resident Evil 7 Next Gen Edition. Okay, very nice. Very nice. And very nice. Yeah, basically that's the gist of it. So a lot of these are, yeah, a lot of them are the core member of CDPR and now transitioning into a new team. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting news, actually. Now I am more curious about the quality of The Witcher 4 now, more than ever. I wonder how that will turn out. And how the story will be written, since the lead, the narrative designers, the writers, and even the art director has left the team. Maybe that's why Siri looks different. Maybe because of him. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. I'm very curious about their game. I wish we can see a little bit more, but I guess in the meantime, we just have to wait and see what will happen then, right? Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye now.